My name is Dirk Kramer's EDU 528 Week 7 final budget report. As you can see, I took the wish list and converted it to Central Christian College's athletic budget. We were provided with 24 total sports, 12 of those sports being boys, 12 of those sports being girls. And as you can kind of see in the spreadsheet here, wanted to go ahead and list all of the sports out, get a total, male budget, athletic budget, total number of athletes within that, and again, same thing for the girls' sport. So first category is number of athletes. So what I did is took from each class member's wish list, kind of went off of what they've ordered uniform-wise or certain equipment-wise to kind of get the number of athletes per team. So what I do is I wanted to add all those up. So there's 304 total male athletes. And then again for the same thing for the girls. It gets us 243 total female athletes. So a total of 547. And with that, within our 24 sports that we had in our athletic program, we were provided a $92,000 budget for all of them. So kind of how I broke it down here is I took the $92,000, which is right here, and then divided that number by the number of athletes. So again, 547 student athletes divided by $92,000 roughly gets you about $168.19 per athlete. So again, I think this is one of the best ways to make sure that our budget's equal and fair. So each student athlete brings in a total of $168.19 for their sport. So within that, you would take, to get the yearly budget, which is kind of the next column here, you're going to take the $168.19 and we're going to multiply that by the number of athletes on each team. So for example, with wrestling, there's 20 athletes. We're going to multiply $168.19 by those 20 athletes, and that gets us a total of $3,363.80. So that kind of gives you the budget, and as you can see, it goes down depending on the number of athletes. Kind of determines the amount of money each program gets for their athletic budget. So you can kind of see total male athletes, obviously, because there's more combined total athletes that are male. The athletic male total is $51,129.76. Female, there's 243 athletes, so you're going to get, $40,870.17 to go there. So as you can see, again, 92,000 there. There's about, between the male and female athletic budgets, there's $91,999.93 that is distributed to each program. So that leaves about 7 cents for the athletic budget. So kind of what I did, again, I wanted to transfer everything back to this first page just to be a little more organized, but you can kind of see the next column is our budget spent. So you can kind of see how each program spent their money. The total spent through the male athletic budget was $38,043.77. Again, female, you can kind of see their budget spent throughout it. Their total ended up being about $35,154.06 spent. And that total brings to about $73,197.83 spent by each individual program. So kind of spread out pretty well there. Give many programs opportunities to spend some money and get what they were wishing for and wanted. So then you can kind of see the next column here. is total leftovers. I'll kind of come back to this section, but you can kind of see how much was left over from the actual budget into what we provided for them for each sport. So the male athletes, our male athletic teams had about $13,085 left over, and you can obviously see the female athletic teams left a little bit less, but they still left about $5,716 left, bringing that total to $18,802.10. And then again, the last column here is the total cut from each program, each individual program, and then the total overall. So you can kind of see the total male athletic budget was cut. There was $81,000, almost $82,000 of money that was cut from the wish list to fit into our athletic budget this year. Again, same thing for the female sports. Total cut, it was about $42,500 cut. So grand total cut out of every program off each individual wish list comes to a grand total of $124,330.78 totally cut. So that's a big chunk. A lot of things that we wish we could buy as an athletic department for our teams, but obviously we did not have the money to do it. So you got to make those tough decisions as an athletic director. So kind of at the bottom here, we go to each tab. Wrestling, you can kind of see what we cut here. Again, we cut about $17,000 off of their budget. Ended up spending a little over $3,000 for the wrestling program. So next is girls cross country. Again, we cut the wish list in about half of what they asked for what they got. So again, spent a total a little over $1,000 on the girls cross country team. Boys soccer, obviously their wish list did not exceed their max budget that we provided. So they obviously got everything on the wish list that they wanted. Cheers, the exact same thing. They were under budget on their wish list, so they got to receive what they wanted. See, boys tennis here was really close to being at their budget, so we kind of had to make a cut. And again, the ball machine would be a great asset to our tennis program, but we also need to understand that we got to make cuts, and I felt like tennis balls and ball cart and uniforms were a little more important. So girls tennis, again, under budget, so they received their full wish list. Boys track budget, again, wanted to try to fulfill their wish list as much as possible, but understood that the pole vault package is a very expensive item that for our athletic program. So we decided to keep the old one and try to use it for another year, and then reevaluate at the end of the year. Girls field hockey took a lot of cuts to get down to under the budget, but again tried to cut the stuff that most players will provide for themselves, and keep the things that they need to be, like uniforms, things like that they need. Boys volleyball, again, wish we could get them a new set, new net and referee stand, but obviously need to cut that down and again get them the uniforms they need, and the equipment they need to run a successful program. Boys cross country, again, pretty close to their budget on their wish list, so we kind of just took some of the little stuff out, like a cross country kit, a tent, and again wanted to make sure they had uniforms to be able to run in races and things like that. Boys basketball, this program probably took the biggest cut just due to a lower roster size and not really a big budget. So they took a pretty big cut. As you can see, there's a lot of things on here, a lot of team gear stuff that they could easily fundraise for to get back those things. Again, baseball budget. A new scoreboard is a big one. That took the big chunk of their budget out by cutting that. Again, that's something that we have an operational scoreboard now. That's something definitely down the road to look at when funds are better. Let's see. Girls golf. Again, pretty close to their budget. Decided to go away from the team shoes and allow them to kind of purchase their own golf shoes and save us a little bit money in the golf budget for the girls. Girls track, again, was under budget. So they received their full wish list. Girls soccer, again, another one that took a big hit. But again, wanted to make sure that we provided, some uniform stuff, and also the equipment that they need on the field, to be successful. Dance budget. Again, this wish list had quite a few different uniform packages, so kind of just picked the ones that fit us right, fit our budget right, and wanted to get rid of the ones that maybe were excess that we could use fundraising to help provide. Boys water polo, again, big ones that scoreboard. We want to make sure we use the ones that we have and update when we need to. But again, pretty big cuts on water polo. Girls basketball budget, not very many cuts. We decided this year to cut the uniforms to make sure that we also, we give them the opportunity to provide, new balls, new huddle film for, scouting. Can also use it as recruiting. So that was a big one for me. And again, try to get girls basketball uniforms next year when funds are different. Softball. Again, pretty close to their budget. Wanted to get rid of the jugs machine. Again, something that they could add easily with some fundraising for the budget. So, girls lacrosse. Again, wanted to keep what it takes to be on the field and provide some stuff that might be a little more expensive for players individually to buy. And that's kind of what we did on that one. Boys swimming. Again, the same thing. Wanted to get the cheaper items that are easier to ask student athletes to pay for, and then obviously the pace clock. We'll just continue to use the one we have. Girls volleyball was under budget, so they took no cuts from their wish list. Football was under budget. Again, they received their full wish list. And boys golf. This one was kind of tough. Obviously, we want to provide as much as we can for them. But I think taking the golf bags off and trying to utilize last year's golf bags for as long as we can will obviously help and repurpose those. So we kind of cut those out there for that. So kind of go back to the front page. That's kind of the whole spreadsheet there. Kind of go back down here to what I said, leftovers. Talking about that, like I said, we had about $18,000, almost $19,000 left over in the athletic budget. That was kind of added up through all the teams. And I'd like, if our budget was like this, it'd be very similar. We had to buy a $10,000 purchase or more. So I decided to use the leftovers and kind of purchase it as an athletic program instead of an individual program. And kind of do this every year, rotate teams each year if we have the money to do it. So this year I chose to do the wrestling mat, which is about $12,206. So we want to use that leftover money there to do that. But that also leaves us, still about $6,500 left over for emergency uses if we need some extra equipment. So that's kind of the budget spreadsheet there laid out for you. Hopefully it's helpful, and thank you.